morning, everyone, from our office.
From the office to studio. It's got plenty of purposes. This is where the magic happens. This is where I do my editing. This is where we do live streams. We're going to go over some of the things that are on the back wall here because folks have been asking us this for a while. I'm also going to show you the other side of the studio that you don't see on camera. Go through some of the things that are in here. And another big question that we get on this channel is, how do we book our cruises? How do we book trips? And we're going to show you that as well today. And then in a future video, we're going to go through what we pack to go on trips. So today is a studio day. We're going to kind of show you the ins and outs of like behind the scenes. Dawn, are you ready?
Ready.
Let's do this. This here is the side of the studio you don't often see. There's the camera there that you all look through at us. And this is the other side. It is what it is. I got a computer here. This laptop here pretty much runs the whole live stream process. I have two laptops. I got the one that I use every day to edit. And then I got this one here for doing live streams, and it's also a backup in case something happens to the computer that I use to edit on. Sometimes Dawn will jump on this computer as well to do things. We also have these tablets here, and they're very convenient for like when we're doing a live stream to see the chat. We could also watch YouTube on there. We can also answer questions from there. So as we're sitting here, we can do all kinds of work. They sit on these swivels, and I'll get more into what's going on over here. But first, I want to go through the back wall, and then I'll sit down with you all right here, and we will. I'll show you what the process is for booking a cruise. Over here on this wall, we have a certificate of completion of Route 66. There's a little lithograph I got of the mill that is on Route 66 as well. So I have some memories of Route 66. Over the years, a lot of friends of the channel have been inspired to send us things that they have made. And we're going to go through some of that. You'll see some of that today. Of course, this wood-carved State of Tennessee, it said Will and Dawn. Also over here, we have a lithograph of when Wildwood Grove opened in Dollywood. Another friend of the channel had given us that. They had that made for us. Pretty cool. And folks have also been inspired to send us art. This is one of many. And over the years, I had to take some paintings down and put them in storage because we just ran out of room. I got some more Route 66 stuff up there. Way back in the beginning of our channel. In fact, I would say it's probably one of the first things that folks had sent us. And yet again, I couldn't tell you who sent that to us, but we always said right from the beginning of our channel, hey, let's do this. Let's go and do this. Hey, Dawn, let's do this. Okay, let's do this. So this is, somebody had sent that had given us to that or sent that to us. But, yeah. And then over here, our friend Ken I believe Ken made that for us. Just a little wooden carving of the national park. Of course, we love the national park. I'm going to go across the back wall first, and then we'll get down into the shelves. Yet again, folks have sent us more art renditions of us. This one here is really amazing. It's a painting of us. I believe that painting is Abrams Creek Trail. So, a wood laser carving there, license plates. That painting there is one of the first things we've ever had received too as well. It's the Snoopy character sitting there, and you can see a little picture of Will and Dawn above their couch. And we always said it's Will and Dawn doing a live stream from the couch. We used to do live streams from the couch and the kitchen before we got this studio. And this here is a caricature of Dawn and I, and that's from our friend Ashley from Ashtunes. And we got a few different characters from him. But yes, it's one of our, we framed that and put that up. And over here, yet again, another friend of the channel had sent us this original painting that Dollywood used to sell when they first opened. In fact, this here is like back when Dollywood opened back in like 86. So, but that was really cool. And that's up here too. And so over here, I got this, one of the first things that we put in our background in our videos was this lava lamp. And the lava lamp is still here. It's still going. In fact, sometimes when I don't light it up, folks will put in the comments, what's with the, you got to light up you can't have a live stream unless you have your lava lamp lit up. I also have a Sea Rock City iconic birdhouse that someone had given us, and I had put it together, and it was so nice that I never put it outside for the birds. I put it back here so I can remember those memories. I got some money in my Suica card and all that from our trip to Japan. This here is the Icon Award that we got from YouTube for hitting 100,000 subscribers. So that there is a great inspiration of all you out there who have taken that extra step to subscribe. We also have the letter from YouTube saying congratulations for the, hitting that 100,000 mark. And we got Robert the Doll, and we got him in Key West. Of course, if you don't know the story of Robert the Doll, he's a haunted doll. That's what he is. He's a haunted doll. And yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I picked up this helmet from the 1982 World's Fair in Knoxville. It's actually one of the construction helmets that they used to do the groundbreaking and stuff like that. And I picked that up from an individual who had an extensive World's Fair collection. I believe he owns some restaurants over in Knoxville. Anyways, that's part of his collection, and he was actually breaking up that collection to raise money for some preservation to the to the World's Fair pieces that are left, like the sun spear, things like that. Back here, I got a little mask from Haiti. We very fortunate to visit the Royal Caribbean port in Haiti. You can't visit that port right now because of the problems that Haiti has at the moment. But over here we have the famous Weigel's cow, Ellie. And Ellie's holding a piece. We picked this up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And it's just you got to have a I don't know, a piece of, we don't, I think everybody gets that. But, and then someone had crocheted us some little figures, and of course he's a mushroom from Mario. So we have Paddington Bear. We picked him up when we visited London. These frames back here had come from one of our friends of the channel, and he had made those for us. And I believe the wood came from, can't remember the story off the top of my head. I believe it's behind the frames, but I'm not going to move it all. But it's sentimental, and where the wood had come from. We also have the famous cinnamon bread from Dollywood. That was a big thing when they first released that. In fact, it only lasted like a couple weeks, and they were sold out, or a week, not less than a week, maybe a couple days, I think. And then this chicken here, he was on our Route 66 adventure. Our friend Claudie had given us him, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Down here is another, this is a silver letter from YouTube, pretty much saying congratulations for hitting 100,000. This one here is made out of metal. And you can see it kind of glares. It's real shiny. Down here, I picked this up in Hiroshima, Japan. That there is kind of like a big bell. And we picked that up at the famous Torii Gate, floating Torii Gates. A Louisville slugger bat that I had picked up when we did the tour of the factory in Louisville. Here is a bandana from our Disney cruise from Pirate Night. People are always sending us little yellow Jeeps. I got a bunch of these from different folks over the years. And we have them scattered throughout. You'll see those guys throughout. So we have a lot of great artists on this channel. Of course, we have a great big Snoopy in the center. Of course, you all know Dawn and I, we love Snoopy. And we got that. He's newer. And sometimes as time goes on, we will take things off the back shelves, and we do keep everything. So they're all in storage. This little flamingo here, I think we got him at Mardi Gras. He was tossed to us. Back here we have a Chicken Little. You guys all know Miss Lillian. Yeah, it's a Chicken Little, right? He's got a boo-boo, see? But that's a Miss Lillian Chicken Little. Yeah, some more art back there as well. We have a lot of folks out there that are photographers, and they will send us photos of some of the photos they had taken. And of course, so we got a lot of that, and we do try to present them. I have a Pangi from Japan. And over here is the silver play button. I think everybody out there knows what that is. So one of the things you'll see behind us is this hat rack. This was given to us by one of the friends of our channel at a meetup that we had. And so this is where Dawn will hang her hats. Of course, you all know over the years, one of her things is her hats. And a lot of the hats are there. Some have been packed up because there's just too many of them. And this is where we hang up the majority of our lanyards from the different events. And we got quite a few of them here. There's a lot of them in here. You start getting, into it. It's tasting passes, media, different things, different media days. Big Bear Mountain, that's from like Big Bear Mountain was open. 40th grand opening event. And there's lots of these. Anarchista. Here's the 50th 2003 media showcase. And there's so many of them in here. And I don't think all of them are in here. I think some of them falling on the ground there as well. But that's where we keep all that goodness. And some of the little things we picked up along the way, like these duck whistles we got, I think, in Ketchikan when we did the duck tour in Ketchikan. We got that. I got this little Dollywood's Night Flight Expedition. I got a couple of camera bags in there, some tripods. This corner here does collect a lot of just things in general. Sometimes things get thrown in here and it takes a few weeks for it to end up on a shelf or get sorted out. And so this rock here, one of our friends had made for us, and it is heavy. And ended up here in the corner of the studio. I think it was made to be outside. In fact, I might end up taking it out there. But that has a huge rock. And I brought it in the studio, and it's been sitting there ever since. So over here, you'll notice that we have some things from our little Pomeranian honey bear. And her ashes are still back there in a little case. Also, her sister, Molly. We had a boxer. And we just got some of the things that folks had made for us in remembrance of Honey Bear. And there's been a few things over the years that we had packed up You can see there's a little painting, and her little boots are back there. But it's a little area. We remember Honey Bear. One of the reasons why I started our YouTube channel was to share video with our friends back in Michigan of little Honey Bear. They wanted to see her, you know what I mean? So it was one of the reasons why we started our YouTube channel. And she was a big part of it until she had passed. And we have our cruise cards, all of them from all of our cruises, all 11 of them. And yeah, good memories there as well. It's where we keep those. I got this little guy in Gatlinburg at a little Motomatic they have in, I think it's Jonathan's. But I have that. I believe Roy and Maria had sent us this little ceramic Christmas tree. Of course, we keep it up there, and we light that when we're in the studio. These Dawn got during Mardi Gras, and they're just handmade beads. But this here, this is actually the church in Cades Cove. Someone had made for us another little drawing of us and stuff like that. So we were up in Vancouver when we did our Alaskan cruise, and we got to do the Sea to Sky gondola. And this here by far is the most steepest, the most craziest chairlift we've ever been on. And you can actually get this experience, maybe not as high and crazy, but Anakeesta's got a similar lift now that is pretty much based on this lift here. And I believe you can buy an Anakeesta keychain just like this in their gift shop as well. But this here by far is probably the most craziest lift that we had ever taken. And I also got a Castaway 5K medallion when we did the 5K. We didn't run it, we walked it. And this here has importance to us. This is like one of the first things that we had ever had received from a subscriber to the channel. I believe they were from West Virginia. This came from Kimball, West Virginia. And it's made out of coal. I think the whole thing is made out of coal. And of course, this is probably from coal country. But this was one of the first things that we ever had gotten from you all. So that's really cool as well. And there's things on here that we've picked up through our travels. That's the seaplane that we had taken when we were in Vancouver as well. We got to fly over the city. History and Haunts, Dawn won those during their dance competition. Someone had sent us the Golden Thumbs Up Award. Let me get a little bit better. So we were sent the Golden Thumbs Up Award because we always, one of our trademarks we did, was always, the thumbs up was the thing. Here, this globe you see back here is actually before YouTube. That's what I got for having 20 years in my previous job in plastic injection molding. So back here is a moonshine jug. That was a gift from Dawn and my niece for my birthday one year. And I absolutely love them. Always have loved them. Got a little character of the CN Tower in Toronto. And next to him is a Smoky Mountain Troll. Yeah, it's got a lot of Smoky Mountain stuff back here. Yeah, so over here I got some Route 66 stuff. Different things we picked up on Route 66. We picked these up from a corn dog establishment that's been on Route 66 for years. Got some crocheted. Friends of our channel have made us some crocheted things. Bucky's. This Wadsworth Police Department, I believe a friend of our channel is an officer or is an officer there. This whale here was given to us just before we left to go on Route 66. In fact, it's got a little little thing. It's supposed to be a reminder of the blue whale. A good friend of the channel had sent that as well. So I was out in South Dakota and I picked this up. This is the famous buffalo, the buffalo hat. I picked that up. There's there's a painting back there, or a photograph of one of our friends had given us of the Amish up in Pennsylvania. I believe they were from Pennsylvania country. We got a lot of photos with folks over the years. Of course, you all know this stick. I got him in Freeport, Bahamas. This one here came from Ireland. That's a shillelagh stick. Folks have been watching long enough will know about that. Here's a hat I got from Ireland as well. Tons and tons of photos with different folks that we've met up and at over the years. This particular baseball here is a ball that Dawn got at a Detroit Tigers game during the playoffs back in 2006. And that was a fall ball that Dawn had caught off the bat of, I think it was Jeter. They were playing the Yankees. And this here is a buffalo hide, crossbody that a friend of ours in Florida had sent us. And I believe he's going to be making a visit to the Smokies shortly here. Yeah, so I got a card from the folks at Mothman Museum. I got this little, I got this Motomatic from the Orlando Eye, the Orlando Wheel. I got more Moldomatic figures in the background. We picked those up on our travels as well. We got that from Roatan. More art that their friends had sent us from South Carolina. They have a water tower there. That's a big peach. And they had sent that. They live in that town. Of course, we have some Disney Cruise Line. We picked up some maracas from Mexico. Got some old postcards. Yet again, a lot of our friends of the channel are photographers and stuff, so they'll send us photos of some of the things that they had shot. There's a little cup with Honey Bear. And down here, we just got some more. Right here, we used to ask the Wrecking Ball a lot of things over the years. We haven't pulled that out in quite some time. Route 66 stuff. And Donut Fryer mug. There's my thermos from when I was a kid in school. A little Gremlins thermos. I only have the thermos. That's all that's left. But yeah, pretty cool. And so pretty much that's everything behind us. And yet again, we have several totes that we had to take things down over the years because it just got so cluttered. So, you know what I mean? And we still have them. Just we don't have a place to put them or display them. Maybe the future or something. I don't know. But yes, that's our wall of inspiration. It's definitely a backdrop. You know what I mean? It's a reminder. It's everything for our channel. For years and years and years, we sat on stools in the kitchen with no back. And we would do that for about 2 hours every single time we did a live stream. There's a few episodes where we sat on the couch. That was a little more comfortable, but never idea. When we decided to go ahead and do this studio, we decided to get some gaming chairs. When you watch our live streams, this would be the wall on Dawn's right shoulder in the videos. And you'll see that there's not a whole lot of craziness over here. We do have a magnet board over here, a dry erase board. And I will put a lot of information. In fact, you'll see a couple of pieces of paper up there covering some future plans. I had to cover that up because I don't want that to, I want it to be a surprise for everyone. And you can see a little bit here. You can see some dates here of some future travel, but I had to cover that up with a piece of paper. Yet again, this is like we write it down when we have something coming up that we want to do, future trips. Over here, Someone made this really nice quilt. It's hanging here, but somehow this pin, this little thing, this is made for pins. Someone had given this, and I only got one pin on there. I haven't put any more on there yet, but I'm getting ready to. Now this area here accumulates some junk. These are our 2 blue eddies. They're in here in case I have to, if power goes out and I need to, edit or run my computers and all that. It's our battery backup for that. That one we take on the road. Also, you'll see there's some stuff down there, some tripods, just it accumulates junk. I got some folders for future plans right there. Those particular binders right there are for different itineraries for different upcoming trips. Don't want to get too much into that. I do have a printer because I do print a lot of things up. And yet again, this area always, I don't know, just accumulates things. We set everything here. And Dawn's got, so we got a little refrigerator here. We got a paper shredder. We shred everything that's important. We shred anything confidential. Everything gets shred because we try to keep everybody's privacy. We try to keep everything. And I've got a little refrigerator in here, and I haven't put the Mexican Cokes in there yet, but I do have some soda in there. You can just reach over during editing and pick a soda up. So behind the door here, I have hats, and I have lots and lots of hats. I even got our Christmas hats from last year. I even have a case where I put hats and I carry them with me when we travel. This is where I keep all the hats that I'd have during our travels. So this here is our battery backup for all of our computers and all that in case the power goes out during a live stream or if I'm working in here. This will give me time to shut things down and all that goodness. We got our Wi-Fi for the house here. This is where we'll set mail. So when mail's coming in for live streams, we will set it on these shelves. And then when live stream Sunday comes, we will then open them over here during the live stream. And on this wall here, we're getting ready to put a couple other dry erase boards. And this particular dry erase board, some folks will notice when I'm doing live streams, I will look up. And this is the reason why I'm looking off to the one corner is because we have this dry erase board. And I will put things that we want to cover, subjects, things like that. Things like people might have asked us questions through our comment section throughout the week. Things like that, upcoming events, things we want to talk about. As you can see, I have some things covered because there is some sensitive information on there. But behind there's like all of our things for our live stream, things we want to touch base with. That's where it's at. But I'm going to put another dry erase board over here. We've even talked about putting a big TV monitor up here. And then we can put information and stuff. And this is the view from the other side. Yet again, we have these Galaxy tablets. I got one. Dawn's got one. Mine's pushed over here. Dawn likes hers out here. I don't know. I've tried to get her to put it over here, but she likes it there. So this is where Dawn takes notes during the live stream. Folks will ask us, hey, you ever thought about going there? And this is where she writes all that down. Any kind of things we need to look up after the live stream. We also have these to open up letters during mail openings. We got a little cow vacuum because folks like to send us glitter and it gets all over. In fact, there's glitter all over the floor. But it could be, it's fun. But this black top here, you usually get to see the glitter pretty well. That there is the microphone that we use. This picks up both of our voices. We thought about getting individual mics, doing more of like a podcast type thing, but this works really well. We also have a Logitech 4K camera, but we only distribute our live streams in 1080p. Seeing that the internet can barely keep up with that. So that computer back there is what I use for live streams and personal things and just all that good stuff over there. But this computer is the one that I carry with me. This is what I do all my editing on. This one here can do 4K very easily. I do love MSI, and eventually I'll have to upgrade again. It'll probably be to another one of these, just bigger, better, and faster. I had a question recently. Someone was asking me, where do I store like all that extra video? Where do I store that stuff? And I buy these Western Digital. I believe this here is a 5 terabyte hard drives. I've got, I got several of these. Any kind of photos, personal photos, all my photography will be in these. Also, when I'm on the road, I carry these Western Digital passports. I think is what they properly call these. These are 1 terabyte each. But yeah, so this is what I use for the road, and that's what I ultimately use. I will eventually unload the stuff in these into these, and then I got 2 of these. And I just use these as I'm traveling, dumping these into those. I guess you kind of get it, but that's kind of how. I know there's a lot of technical stuff with the YouTube channel. I know the video I did the other day was super technical and not everybody got into it. But I want to make these videos because folks do occasionally ask us, what's the technical side of how you do things? And I could just refer them to these videos. I understand that these videos are not for everyone. Most people don't care how all this is done. They just want the final product, right? So our lighting in here are these 2, I think you call them halo lighting. I don't know. They were real popular years ago. In fact, they are years old. I do need to upgrade them to more of a softer, like a box light or a panel light. That way you don't get those weird moon shapes in our glasses and stuff. And boy, do I have hats. Yep. And there's the majority of hats that I have. Of course, you'll see the great big sombrero and some hats off on that light there. I'll turn that light on at night when I'm working in here. I normally don't work with these lights on unless I'm making video in here. It's great to have this space because I don't get distracted on what Dawn might be doing around the house. If we have guests over, I can come in here and do YouTube. I can answer questions, take phone calls, things like that. It's been a blessing to have this space. You know what I mean? It's just a great place where you can close the door at the end of the day and not have to worry about, because everything YouTube is in here. I do keep all of our camera equipment in here too as well. So I'm starting off with Travelocity. It is my preferred site, but I use all different types of sites like Orbitz. But the majority of them are through this Expedia, which technically is Travelocity, Expedia, things like that. This is a great tool to use just to find different types of travel that's available out there. I pretty much use it just for research purposes. I don't necessarily purchase anything from them. All I'm going to do is look at all the different cruise lines. Everything's available, all the different price points. I'm looking for deals. I'm looking for the dates that these cruises might fall into place for us. Or maybe I'm looking at a certain ship. It gives me a broad scope of things. I can also look at multiple cruise lines. And then when I get ready to book, especially when it comes to cruises, I go to the cruise line itself. Booking through a third party isn't always idea because if you have a problem, a lot of times you got to go through the third party first. And if you've ever dealt with a third party like Travelocity or Expedia or whatever, it's a pain in the butt. So ultimately I do book through the cruise line itself when it comes to cruises. Now, if it's for anything else, if I find something on Travelocity, I will then check other sites. Sometimes I'll check the website of the let's say if I'm looking for a hotel, If I find on Travelocity, I will actually check the hotel's website of their own. Sometimes it's cheaper. In fact, and sometimes it's not. In fact, I find sometimes on these trips, if I go through the hotel itself, it's going to cost me an extra $100. So then I would use Travelocity. And I do give business to Expedia or Travelocity, especially when we're on the road. If we're going day for day and it's around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm looking for a hotel for that night, I will go on Travelocity. I will look at all the hotels that are in the area. I'll look at the different price points. I will look at the reviews. The reviews are super important. I will go back. I'm looking for things like bed bugs. I'm looking for things that are, that are just a no-go for us. And I will then, between the reviews, the price points, and a lot of times it has to do with the brand itself, I will make a decision. And I would say by using that method, we have always had a good room. Every now and then you do get a stinker, but we've never had a room where we had to leave like in the middle of the night or anything like that. So you got to do your research. And when we're doing our type of travel, especially when we're doing road trips, we're not planning the hotels too far out, maybe a couple days in advance, but you can't book too far out because you don't know where you're going to be. You don't know what might come up. So I do use Travelocity. But today we're going to be booking a cruise. We're not technically going to book a real cruise. So what I'm going to do is I'm looking for a cruise to the Caribbean, the Bahamas, and Mexico would be from the West Coast. So I don't do that. But let's just say we're looking for something in the Caribbean. We're going to be partying in October, and we're going to go from like October the 1st through October the 31st. We're going to give ourselves one good month. And usually it's 3 to 9 nights that we're looking for, so that's perfect. And I'll do a search. So it will put all these different cruise lines together, and it's going to show the cheapest cruises first. Of course, you have this Carnival Conquest. It's a 3-night cruise, and it's $184 a person. Now, as a reminder, that is not going to include any of your excursions. All your gratuities are going to be on. You have to pay those separate as well, and those can be between $18 to $20 per night per person, and that's split up between your room attendant and like your dining staff and the folks that on the cruise ship that work on tips. So that's a mandatory. All cruise ships will require you, and you will pay that gratuity of 18 to 20%, depending on what cruise line you go on. So keep that in mind, that, how many days you go, $20 a day per person is what I usually figure in the top of my head. So this is only a 3-day cruise, $184. Another thing that I'm looking for is I usually look for cruises that are $100 or below per night per person. Now, you're not going to get that with the newer, bigger ships, and certain times of the year that will, depending on the season. Like right now, the kids out of school, you're going to see prices kind of elevated, even higher than $100. But $100, right around $100 as of right now, as of current conditions, is usually indicates a good price or not. Dawn and I, we've sailed on cruises where it was like $60, $70 a night. And then we've sailed on cruises where it's $134 to $140 per person per night. I think our most expensive cruise that we have had taken to date was our Star of the Seas cruise. But you can define to research a little more. You get like departure ports here. So we are looking in October. Any of the cruises that take out of the Gulf of Mexico, is going to pretty much go to Mexico. They're all going to go to Mexico, Belize, Honduras. So we're not looking at any of those ports. Tampa, most of the cruises that go out of Tampa end up going to Mexico. And seeing that we've been to Mexico so much, we are looking at technically Port Canaveral as a port for us. We're also looking for, let's see here. Jacksonville. I'm going to put Jacksonville in there. Is this saving them? Yeah, it's saving them. No, yeah, it's saving them. Jacksonville in there. I'm going to go Port Everglades because I know we're kind of limited with just those 2 ports. And where is Miami? I want to look at Miami. So I am willing to go down to Miami on this particular cruise. So I got these particular ports. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay. So this is going to give me a more of a... Now there's 2 things. I'm looking for anything here. I could do a 4-day cruise, get off, and then get onto another 4-day cruise. And get like 7 days out of it. Here's MSC Seaside for $218 for 3 nights. So a lot of these are going to be 3-night cruises. There's the Carnival Sunrise. I think that's the Poop Cruise. I think that's they renamed it, but it's all redone. It's all new. Let's see here. So for this particular cruise, I am looking mostly for ports that we have not been to. I'm trying not to do like Nassau. I'm staying away from those ports. I'm looking for ports like Aruba, Jamaica, Curacao, things like that. Looking for ports that are we haven't been to. I'm also looking for ships that we have not been on, and I'm also looking for cruise lines that we have not. Mostly I'm looking for cruise lines that we have not been on that are going to ports that we haven't been at. So that's kind of what my goal is in general. And they give you everything. I mean, and the prices will start going up. $323 for 4 nights. As you go on, here's some Norwegian. Some Norwegian cruises. We just got off a Norwegian, and it was really, really good cruise. I would definitely cruise with them again. And they got some newer ships too as well. So I found a cruise that I like. The only thing is it's Carnival, and we've been on Carnival twice before. We're trying to look for a cruise line that we haven't been on, but I do like this particular cruise. First off, for an interior room, it is $637 for 8 nights. You can get a balcony for $1,188 per person. So the balconies are a little more pricier, but that inside is very, very attractive. This one here goes to Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, which are the ports that I've been looking for. We have not been to those ports. I'm going to go ahead and click on this here to get the itinerary. So yeah, day 1, you're in Miami. Day 2, you're at sea. Day 3, you're at sea. Day 4, you arrive in Aruba. Then you go to Bonaire, and then Curacao. And you'll notice you're up here in the top of South America, which is the area. The only thing it doesn't do is Jamaica. But this one here, I do like it. This one here leaves October the 10th. So here's another cruise that I had found. This is 9 nights. It's on a cruise line we have never been on. It's on the Cunard. Cunard, that's how you say it, I think. Cunard, Queen Elizabeth. Now, this here is an ultra, I wouldn't say ultra luxury. It's a luxury cruise liner. It tips its hat to the days of, ocean lining. They're going to have your traditional English tea on board. You know what I mean, with the scones and all that, which is really cool. So this one here is hitting on some cylinders too. It's a 9-night cruise on a cruise line we've never been on, the Queen Elizabeth. Every single port is a place we have not been to. Even the balconies are under $100 per night per person. The only thing about Cunard is that it's going to be more of your up-class sailing. They're not going to have rock climbing walls. They're probably not going to have crazy hip-hop parties or anything like that. It's going to be 80s rock and roll. It's going to be traditional music. There'll probably be a harpist on board, things like that. This actually got my attention. Now, it is October the 27th, and this is the only problem particular is because this is going to go right into Halloween. And normally I'm here in the Smoky Mountains, they're Halloween. So let's go ahead and take a deeper dive. So as you can see, everything is upscale. All the linens, all the, the silverware, everything is like really, you know what I mean? Like this is going to be a really you want to dress up every day. You're not going to walk around with a Guns N' Roses t-shirt. You're going to have a button-up t-shirt. You know what I mean? And they got the Queen's room where they probably have their afternoon tea. And so they're going to have shuffleboard. They're going to have a lot of your traditional, things like that. There's the pool there. No, you're not going to find water slides on this particular cruise ship. It's going to be relax, read a book by the pool. You know what I mean? Probably not many children on board, but there'll probably be some kids aboard. Their shows are not going to be like Back to the Future or nothing like that. Their shows are going to be more like opera style or Broadway style, singing, dancing. So this cruise line here is not going to be for everyone. And my only concern is, folks that watch our channel, is this going to appeal, to? I mean, ultimately, the itinerary is you leave Miami, you have a day at sea, you're going to be in Grand Turks and Caicos, back out at sea for day 4. Day 5 is going to get you in Curacao. Day 6 you'll be in Bon Air, St. Aloysius. Day 7, you're going to be in Aruba, and then you're going to be at sea for 2 days, and then back in Miami. So let's just say Dawn and I have decided that this cruise here is what we want to do. I am not going to book it through Travelocity. I am actually going to head over to the Cunard site, and I'm going to write down the information. I'm going to write down the date of this cruise. I'm going to write down the prices because I have never seen a price differ from the third-party site. But I'm going to write that down, write all the information, the dates, and all that. And then I'm going to head over to their site. Okay, so sailing date, it was October of this year. And I'm just looking for that cruise that we had seen. And I found it right here. Make sure everything is right. Make sure your dates are right. Make sure the year that you were looking at is right and it didn't switch you to a different year. I've had that before where I got super excited. I go, wow, it's actually cheaper on their site. And when I got into it, I realized it was for not this year, but the following year. So, of course, you have the suites, and that's kind of pricey. $8,618. We're going to keep scrolling down until we see the suites. If you could spring for that, that's great. This here is the windowless suite. It's $1,678. That's for 2 people. That's what the price would be for 2 people. Yet again, it's way under that $100 per night threshold. I like to, it's kind of like an imaginary line where once you start getting over there, you got to start really thinking about what you're doing. So they have a deluxe inside stateroom, which gives you 200 square feet. But they also have this like cheaper inside stateroom for, you save about $100. So seeing that you're going to be at sea for 9 days, a balcony, in my opinion, would be probably one of the coolest things, probably the best thing to have. Being 9 days in a room with no windows. So I know for a fact, and seeing that, $1,500 with no window compared to $1,900 with a balcony, we would definitely spring for that balcony. Now, yet again, this is where things get crazy on a cruise ship. You'll see here that this is an obstructed view. And this is where they'll kind of get you, because if you want a non-restricted view, you got to ante up some more money, right? And then that's how they kind of get you, because then it's like, okay, then now you want to be on a higher floor, or you want to be in a certain area of the ship. It's going to cost you a little more. You know what I mean? So now we're up to $2,000 a person. But you could have went the cheap way. You could have went down and, you could be down in the inside rooms and all that. But seeing that it's only less than $100 to get away from the obstructed views, I'm going to go ahead and do this. And at this point of the booking process, you could pick and choose the things that you're comfortable with, things. Now, cruise lines from here will really start to upcharge you on things like certain types of classes you want to be on. Do you want to board first? Do you want to board, you know what I mean? Do you want to have an enhanced, dinner package? Do you, say like that? Okay, so I've been doing a little research. I turned the camera off for a second here because there are some things to read through. They do have this deal going on right now, which is the same. Technically, this is how we're going to book it. It's a Memorial Day sale, and they're going to give you $150 per person onboard credit, and you can use that credit to pay your gratuities. I noticed with this particular company, they're really trying to run you through the upcharges. Like here, you can get a premium signature package. It'd be $1,620 per stateroom. So now you're paying technically twice as much for the room, but you are getting like premium beverage. So this would be like an alcohol package. You have to read all the fines. Unlimited premium internet. Alcohol. You're also getting some dining. Looks like here you're getting some enhanced dining credits. So a lot of times you're going to be, you can go to some of the premium restaurants. A lot of times I skip on this, but I mean, if you're on vacation and you want to have a cerveza whenever you want, definitely add it. I am going to skip that. So this is what we're looking at here. This is technically what it would cost us without a drink package. Yet again, I would do some research now before booking this. I would do some research on how much is that soda package. How much are their excursions sometimes? Looking a little bit at what excursions they might offer. But if we were to buy this package at the moment today, it would cost us a total of $2,038. And they would want at least a deposit. I usually pay it off fully in the beginning. So they're already giving me a stateroom here. Now, I believe you can go in here and, so they're going to allow me to go in here and pick a stateroom, right? But really, $2,000 for 9 nights, all breakfast, lunch, and dinner included, entertainment. You're going to all these great ports of call, ports we've never been to. The only difference is that this cruise line is a little more laid back, a little more relaxing, a little more book reading type crowd. You know, there's not going to be hip hop, and you know, you're not going to get that. You're going to be more piano players and violinists than you're going to see. They will have their high noon tea and things like that, but it's not going to be like they're different. This cruise line is different compared to any other cruise line, but still, the deal and your gratuities are included. $2,000 for 9 nights. The balcony room, which I feel would be a must on this particular cruise, because you're gonna be at 9 days at sea and you're gonna want to be able to sit out there and relax. Yeah, and so real quick, if I were gonna book a flight, I would do the same thing. I would come over to Travelocity first, look through all the airlines. Also keep in mind that a lot of your budget airlines, like Allegiant and that, are not in they're not on Travelocity, or they're not in these. So you have to go over there individually and see if there's a flight. I know for us, Allegiant is a great airline, especially if you're going down to cruise ports or Orlando. There's multiple flights a day. So that would be like one of the sites I would check out other than this. But I'd also check this out too, because just recently I found Allegiant to be more pricier than using American Airlines. Now, there's many ways you can book a cruise. You just go to a travel agent, and they will run you by a bunch of ideas, right? You know what I mean? They'll call you up and say, hey, we got a trip for here, we got a trip for there. Some of the travel agents we worked with in the past would always show me things that I wasn't like interested in. It wasn't until I started looking for myself, going, okay, this is what I want. I just enjoy doing the research, looking at everything that's available, talking it over to you. We have a bunch of different things who knows us better than us, you know? Okay, so this cruise that I found that I showed everybody out there, it's 9 days on Cunard's Queen Elizabeth, right? It goes to Curacao, it goes to all the ports we've never been to. Balcony, and it was $2,000, including the gratuity for 9 nights.
Where are you gonna fly out to?
He's Miami.
Oh.
So we could drive. We could drive to Miami.
When is that?
Here's the kicker.
Oh.
It's right in the middle of Halloween, which is usually we're usually here during Halloween. Dawn's probably okay with not being in the Smokies for Halloween.
We've been doing it every year, so.
We've never been with Cunard. We've never been to any of these ports. It would be all new, right?
Yeah.
But
Cunard sounds like Menards.
Menards?
Yeah, like Menards, the store.
But it's going to be a there's no water slides.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to feel like you're on the Titanic. All right. But there is a lot of ports to call, but I think there was like 3 or 4 days at sea, which could be interesting to. I mean, we can play some shuffleboard.
Where does it go?
It goes to Aruba.
Aruba. I'm in.
Curacao, Olmsted. I don't know. It goes to a bunch of. It goes to Aruba. If you're still here by now, you actually watched this video all the way through, and this is the reason why I don't make these videos, because I know the majority of people in our audience, and they're going to be like, I don't want to see. You know, they want to see the action. They don't want to see the boring part by putting the trip together, right? Mm-hmm. Our last video we did where we just showed what we packed for camera equipment, you guys didn't watch it. But this is a video I wanted to make because I want when people ask me like, "Oh, how do you do it?" I just point them to this video. Right? I have to make a few of these videos, even though not everybody likes them. It was just there for that. But folks, that's gonna do it for today. A little tour of the studio. We fictionally booked a cruise on the Queen Elizabeth, and we're heading to Aruba. Right?
All right.
But maybe we did book this cruise.
Ooh.
Then again, maybe we didn't book this cruise.
Oh, teasing.
But folks, that's going to do it for today. Here in the Great Smoky Mountains, thank you so much. We couldn't do it without you. As I look at the wall of inspiration, I thank you so much. We appreciate y'all. We love you. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.
Lord willing and the creek don't rise, they'll take you to see the countryside, driving all over Tennessee in their little yellow Jeep. You can come along wherever they go, all you gotta do is watch the show. So be sure you tune in. Don, would you do this again?